G'day punters, we're back for another episode of The Wayne. I'm joined by my co-host in Luke Marlowe, who was at the Everest on Saturday. How was it, Luke?
Tell you what, I felt the pinch the next day being first up for a run.
First up for a long spell. It must have been about 200 days.
Yeah, I was there with Stanley, and he set a good tempo, and it was a great day. It was a special day, to be honest. Just to be back on course and just soak up an awesome day. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And it just feels like we're getting back to some form of normality now. Now that I've been to the races for a day out, I could be back.
100%. And it does help when you're back the winner of the Everest.
Does it what? And promises success sailing home in the last didn't hurt my cause either. So, yeah, it was a good winning day. And, the strip, he got his Everest. Great training performance by Waller and J-Mac. Just rode him like a champion sprinter that he is. He ran fast sectionals early, and can't wait to talk about that race later. The ride on the second horse was incredible from Tommy too.
Yeah, well deserved, and we'll get stuck into that race later on. But we'll start with the first race, a benchmark 78 over 1,400 metres. There was two benchmark 78s on the day. They split the nominations because they had plenty of them. They were home in 123.70 here. That was 4.5 lengths slower than the other benchmark 78 won by a promise of success. In the last 600 metres in 34.73, 0.5 lengths slower than the 78 won by promise of success. Best last 600 metres was Zing, home in 33.99. Zoushack at 3.80 into $3.40. Really well found by the market and the best backed runner. Zing, 9.50 into 8.50. Kenya Nero, $15 out to 26. And from the stewards, Kattegat Bled. Good way to start the day. Nash aboard Zoushack.
Yeah, Nash doing what he does best. Just punching Zoushack out here. He's a horse that I spotted at the trials before he resumed for Joe Pride, and he was going well then, and he hasn't run a poor race or preparation. So I think he's a horse that you could keep following, and he's going to give you a run for his money in whatever he goes in next start. Zing will win a race in the next couple of starts. I thought she was very good here first up. Kenya Nero, it's bloody airborne. Seriously, it's just flying, that horse. Freshened up well here, and I mean, yeah, he's never been one of mine, but I consider backing it next start off that run.
Yeah, he was really good. Found the line really well. I think Robbie was he wanted to come to the outside of Zing earlier, but he got caught on the inside of New King, so he had to wait a little bit, and it sort of cost him running a real clear third. But I definitely want to follow the Quinella going forward. Zoushack and Zing, they were both very good. That was Zoushack's first go over 1,400 metres, and he really ate it up. So he's gonna be a nice horse going forward, and he can win another race this preparation. As you said, Zing will be winning very soon. We'll move on to the second race, the Star Mile, which was a 3-year-old and up open over 1,600 metres. They were home in 1:35.57 here. Last 600 metres in 35.67, and the best last 600 was from New Arrangement, home in 34.39. Soldier of Love, $14 into $12. High Supremacy, he was out the gate, 210, not too savage, 210 out to $2.50, and Kiss the Bride, $6 in out to $7. And the best back runner here was New Arrangement, $4.20 into $3.50. What did you make of these, mate?
Yeah, Man of Peace went out hard. He was running 11.5 for 4 furlongs in a row around that sort of time, which is too quick over a mile, but it made it a brutal test. And I think Soldier of Love, just being the tough horse that it is, was suited. I thought the ride on High Supremacy, the second horse, was good from Dolan. He pushed looks like Elvis out of the way at the top of the straight. He's the horse I backed in the race. Looks like Elvis. I was a little bit disappointed in his run, although he was only beaten 3 lengths. I think they're an even bunch. A few horses in this race are just at their level, aren't they? And I don't think there's much edge in following anything out of this race.
Yeah, me either. They all seemingly had their chance. The only one that I could have something on at his next start is New Arrangement. I just think he got a little bit too far back from the wide draw, and if he can settle a touch handier, he could win a race, another race this preparation anyway. But we'll move on. The third race, a Class 3 highway over 1,100 metres. They were home in 104.34 here. They really zipped home in 33.91, and the best last 600 metres was Casino Lord. Best of the day, home in 33.24. 10 bells hovered around that 9.50 mark for most of the day. Street Power, $10 into $8.50. Blow Dart, $10 out to $12. And the best back runner probably at odds was King's Trust, $34 into $21. From the Steward, Blitzer bled from both nostrils. I thought Street Power was really good here, Luke. He was never on the track.
Oh, he was enormous. Just got cast from the draw. He was 4 wide the trip, but I just think he was back 100 metres in distance and on a backup. So he took a while to really wind up, but his best work was on the line. So I think he could go up in distance now, Street Power, and win a highway or whatever he goes in next start, to be honest. So I'll definitely be backing it out of this race. Cool personal moment for me in this race with Jason and Alicia running the Quinella. It was cool watching them come back to scale together. I think Jason might have been giving her a bit of cheek, or she might have been blowing up at him for beating her. But that was good to see. There's a horse to follow out of this race, Casino Lord. It's returned in sensational order here. Drew 13, went back to last. It's run home in the quickest last 600 of the whole day, and it's a highway horse. So Casino Lord, 33.24. It's run home, and at the end of the 1100. So I'll be betting up on it next start in the right race.
Yeah, agree. And I know that Quinella will go the other way soon enough. Alicia will beat Jason home, but I agree. The two that I want to follow out of the race is Street Power. As you said, he was back in trip, and I know Cav's got a good opinion of him. He thought that he was going to be a Kosciuszko chance last year. He just hasn't been going as well, and he did bounce back last start at big odds, and he's backed that up again. So he's back in order. And as you said, Casino Lord, best of the day, finishing off in 33.24 over 1,100 metres from a wide draw. He can go up in trip and prove hard to beat at his next start. I think he's probably better than highway grade going forward. The fourth race was a 3-year-old fillies race, the Reginald Allen Quality over 1,400 metres. They were home in 1:23.50, 3 lengths faster than 3 lengths slower than the benchmark 78 won by Promise of Success, and they were home in 35.25, 3.72 lengths slower than that race. The best last 600 metres was Roots, home in 34.44. Fangirl, $3.70 out to $3.90. Roots, $18 into $11. Decent Rain, $6 out to $7.50. The best back runner was Ryduna from the Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott stable, $7 into $5. I thought the Quinella were really good here, Luke.
They were. I think they're the two progressive ones out of the race. I'm not sure about those behind. On Fangirl, it was they were stacking right up down the side, and he just had to wait for the run to appear. And once it did, she rolled away nicely. Roots was very unlucky. Didn't get a lot of room in the straight. Had to go back to the inside. And I think it could be one for the autumn that could measure up in some other stakes races. Roots. I wonder what Chris will do with Fangirl now. She holds a nom for the Bondi Stakes, or would he take her to Melbourne? I think her next move will be interesting.
Yeah, he has half ruled out the Bondi Stakes as far as I know. I'd like to see her go there because she'd be really hard to beat over 1,600 metres on the 7-day backup. But he's not sort of the bloke to change a plan. He sort of said that she'll head up to Melbourne and find a race. But Roots having his second start, I don't know if he would have beat her if he had got clear galloping room, because he sort of got to her and she was holding him on the line. What did you think? Do you think if he got clear galloping room earlier, he would have got the better of her?
I reckon Fangirl might have found, but we'll never know. We'll never know. But Roots was taking ground off Fangirl to a point, but then once Fangirl sort of sensed the horse to its inside, she dug in again. And it's funny, Roots is named after Sydney Morning Herald scribe Chris Roots and Philly. So it's Yeah, it's a funny one, but it's by press statement. So of course that's where they get the name. And don't worry, it'll win more races. Nice horse that.
Yeah, definitely. And just to comment on the ride by J-Mac, it was a cracker.
Cracker, mate. Absolute cracker, but that's just par for the course with him, isn't it?
Isn't it?
We don't even talk about it because you just expect it.
The best in the business. We'll move on to the Kosciuszko, 1,200 metres. They were home in 1:10.07. This was the slowest of the three 1200s on the day. They went 6 lengths slower than the Everest, but they zipped home here in 34.57. They were actually home in about 1 length faster than the Everest, and the best last 600 metres was Edit from well back, home in 33.90. Art Cadeau was $4.40 into $4. Handle the Truth $5.50 out to $7, and Spirinac $7.50 out to $12. Great ride here by Tommy Berry and a well-deserved win. This horse has never been outside of the Quinella, Luke.
Unbelievable. He is just an awesome horse. That record, I've never seen a record like that. Only when you're talking like Black Caviar, and I'm not saying he's in that class, but I've never seen a horse with a record like this. 12 starts, never missed the top 2. Just fantastic.
And it's not like he's been tested as well in some good races. He's won a country championships and he's won a Kosciuszko now.
And you see a lot of horses, they've had 15 starts, won 11 races, but they might have put in the odd bad one and, midfield or ran last one day. This horse is just super genuine, and you can't not love him. Just a great concept, this race, and couldn't go to a more deserving camp than the Terry Robinson yard. Great scenes post-race. What are we going to do with old Nataraja? I mean, I don't have sour grapes here, but he took out half the field. He's the lowest horse. He's the lowest. He always hangs. He's just, I'm not a fan of Nataraja.
No, well, you probably had a small invested interest on Island Bay Boy. Would I be correct there?
Well, I'll be honest. I didn't have a bet in the race, but it cleaned up a few. It cleaned up the misses on Patino Ruby. It cleaned up Island Bay Boy. Ahead of his time was inconvenience. And a lot of people, these races don't come around too often. So the horse has got form. He's got a history of hanging.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's only had 5 starts though, so and he's won his last 2 previously. I
can't believe he hasn't been ordered to trial on the back of this. I mean, he's pulled up with an issue. A respiratory noise he made, poor post-race recovery. And I mean, I'd pull up a poor post-race recovery if I ran a mile in a 1400 too.
But yeah, I would have thought, I didn't even look at the steward's report, but you would have thought that he would have had to trial. He was very erratic on that corner. He took Ice in Vancouver off the course and gave him none. Do you want to follow the race? I think these horses, as country horses, it's going to be a terrific race to follow. This is going to produce plenty of winners, Lee.
Just load up on Edit next start at 1400.
He needs it. He just couldn't keep up and was really good late. Yeah,
he's a good horse, mate. He's going to win nice races. I think he could even be in this time last year, but I think he's more a miler. He looks like a miler. He's a big, strong, imposing animal. But yeah, it was. I think I had a bit of a whinge about Nataraja, but I think the best 2 horses ran 1-2, and it was well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah, I'd tend to agree, and I'd be interested in seeing how far Art Cadeau can go in the future. We'll move on to the 6th race, the I don't know, what would you call it? The bridesmaid race to the Everest, the Sydney Stakes over 1,200 metres. They were home in 1:09.51. So they walked early here. They were 2.4 lengths slower than the Everest, but they actually came home in 33.75, which was 6 lengths faster than the Everest. Best last 600 metres was Kementari, home in 33.32. Big Parade was really well liked by the market. $2.80 into $2.40. Standout, 10 out to 11. Prime Candidate, $17 out to $27. Big Parade, he's settling much better in his races, Luke.
done a brilliant job with him, Newnham. Good horse, mate. He's just a really good sprinter. Very, very consistent. I mean, he's been a money muncher a few times when people have bet up on him, but he was off the map Saturday and produced. So I think anyone who wants to whinge about him going forward is it's not warranted. This horse is a genuine group horse sprinter. Standout was very good. I think this was a sign that the track was pretty firm by this point because Standout needs it dry. He's run a good second here. These are pretty good sprinters. I'll be following Wheelhouse up in distance. I thought that was a good return by him, and I don't know if he'll go to like a Golden Eagle or what, but it'd be interesting where Chris places him because he looked like he was going terrible off his trials, but he's run a really acceptable race here first up.
Yeah, I picked him out as well. These backmarkers had no chance with them getting home so quickly here, and he's only an 85 rater, so he's run terrific because like Big Parade, they're 101, Standouts a 104 rater, so he's going to be well in a if I don't know where he goes. I don't know if he goes to a Golden Eagle, but if he finds a benchmark race second up over 1,400 meters, wow, he's going to be really hard to beat. The other one I want to follow out of the race, I think Prime Candidate's ready to win. He's a 94 rater, and he's run terrific as well at weight for age. So they're the two that I want to follow. So that's Wheelhouse and Prime Candidate. Did you have anything else to add for that race?
Well, I had something on Flat Heaven at any price. He wasn't suited at the weight scale either, and Alicia thought he might have put his tongue over the bit. So I could back up there in an easier race.
So we'll put him in there. We'll put him down as a forgive run. The next was the absolute feature of the day, the Everest over 1,200 meters. They were home in 109.11 here in the last 600 meters in 34.76. Best last 600 meters was Masked Crusader, home in 33.82. He really attacked the line late. Nature Strip singled out in the betting late. I think they started to find him on Friday. He was $3.90 into $3.70 on the day. Masked Crusader, $9 out to $11. The one they actually found really late in betting was Eduardo. He was 6 into $4.20 late in betting. Stewards handed Nash a 6-day suspension plus 20K. He hit Eduardo 9 times prior to the 100, which is 4 more than allowed. Nature Strip, he's just a champion, just a sprinting champion, Luke.
Yeah, he is. And James used his speed. This is his splits from the 1,000. 10:30, 10:55, 10:94. And then he's run 4 to the 200, 11:34. And he's hung on that last furlong. So he's gone very fast and been able to sustain that. We know Chris is just one of the best of all time, peaking them for a grand final. And that's what this horse did. This was his moment. And he got his Everest. Masked Crusader could win it next year. I didn't like him at all. I actually said during the week, he can't win from last. Well, he nearly did. So he proved me wrong in not winning, even though he didn't win. So I thought he was excellent. And, yeah, he could win the race next year. The grey went great, didn't he, first up? It was always going to be hard to do, but he was great classic legend, I thought. Lost and running was honest. Eduardo, he did what Eduardo does. So I think the cream rose to the top on the day.
Yeah, the cream did rise to the top. Nature Strip, he did a terrific job sitting on top of that hot speed, and he just kept going, as did Eduardo. And as you said, Masked Crusader, he could win this race last year. If he could begin cleanly, he'd win a lot more races. And as you said, classic legend, I think I made a mistake. I ended up falling for him. He just had too much to do. I think he ended up a couple of pairs further back than I expected, Luke.
Yeah, a few people. You're not alone. Well, the problem was Embracer was just in his road. Embracer was in his way. He's 100's chance. He ended up following him, and that wasn't ideal for him. But
he really had nothing to take him into the race, did he?
No, he had to do all the hard work. And we mentioned at the top of the show, but Tommy's ride on Masked Crusader was absolutely brilliant. He gave him every chance from a tough position after he was slow away again, just weaving through the field. I thought that was a cracker.
probably the best non-winning ride of the day. The 8th race was the Craven Plate over 2,000 metres, home in 2:05.03, and they scooted home in 34:26, which was actually better last 600 metres than the Everest. Their best last 600 metres of the race was Skylab. Thought he went terrific here, 33.83. Think It Over was singled out by the market. $2 into $1.75. Skylab, $10 out to $13. Lions Roar, $12 out to $10. And the horse that I want to follow, Luke, is Skylab. He was unsuited by this pace, and he found the line really well.
He did, didn't he? And at weight for age, that's a big performance from him. Skylab, Think It Over is just a really genuine top weight for age horse. He'll keep them honest in the Cox Plate if he pulls up well and heads there. You just know he'll run well again.
Yeah, no doubt. 7 days. I had something on Bargain here. She was unsuited.
Is he going to the Cox Plate? I mean, I just assume he isn't now.
Maybe not. I'm not sure. I actually had a bet in the Cox Plate today. I jumped into Animo at about $4. I know that's probably. I think he'll start favourite, even though.
Is he $4 Animo?
He is. I think the market's going to trend to him. I actually think he's going to start favourite on Saturday, but we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, Think It Over. He's a genuine Group 1 weight for age horse. I'm not sure if he goes to the Cox Plate or a race like the McKinnon would be right up his alley. Whether or not he's there next week in the Cox Plate, is he in the market?
No, he's not in the noms. So I think now I remember Kerry saying that he's decided to keep him in Sydney, but for some reason I was thinking he'd still go down, but he won't be.
No, but we're excited about it nevertheless. Move on to the 9th race. This horse was really well found. The St. Ledger over 2,600 metres. They were home in 2 minutes, 43 seconds and 35 tenths. Last 600 metres in 35.86. Best last 600 metres was Luncey's, home in 35.12. This horse really well supported on the day and earlier in the week. Warning, $7.50 into $5. Luncey's, $8 into $6. On Taunt, $4.40 into $3.80. The market really got it right here, especially with the first 4 home. They were all well supported. The horse that I want to be following is Carif. He knocked up in that last 200 metres and he peaked 3rd and 4th up last preparation. He's in the noms for a race this week over 2,400 or 2,600 metres. So on the 7-day backup, 3rd up, he's going to be hard to beat. But Nash was the right rider for Warning. He lifted him over the line here, Luke.
I was absolutely filthy here. I liked Warning during the week, thinking, soft 7, and I didn't back him because of the firm, drying track. So, it was a missed opportunity, but he went well. Don't mind Luncey's as a horse. I think in the autumn he could target a Sydney Cup and run a really good race in that down on a lightweight. So I reckon that's a long range goal for him, definitely.
Yeah, no doubt. And he loomed up to win that. I thought he was going to go straight past Warning, so you would have been happy about that. But Nash got Warning over the line. That was a good find by whoever found him because he was really well supported by the market.
Yep.
I know I said that Carif is the horse that I want to follow. I don't think he could beat the top 2 home if he runs into them in the next month or so, but he'll find the right race, and it might be on Saturday in that race that he's in the nominations because it sets up perfectly for him. We'll move on to the last race, Benchmark 78 over 1,400 metres. This was the fastest of the 3 1,400s of the day. They were home in 1:23.01 in the last 600 metres in 34.63. Best last 600 metres was the winner, Promise of Success, home in 33.82. She was not well liked by the market. I think Tab went up about 240 on Wednesday, out to 440 on Saturday morning, and then SP $6. Swab $6.50 out to $8, and Golly, I'm lucky, $19 into $13. Didn't have much luck again. Best backed runner outside of the top horses in the market was Elizabeel, $35 into $15. And from the Stewards Report, Barossa Rosa pulled up 1 out of 5 lame. Promise of Success, Luke. She's always threatened to do something like this, and she produced it on Saturday.
Yeah, she's a good mare. I think she needs tempo. That's what she needs. That's what I was excited about in this race. That bigger field, create a bit more pressure, and if she gets into a race with speed, she could definitely win. I believe a really good mares race at that sort of 1,400 meters mile range. She just needs to settle to get the mile, but yeah, it's a good win here. Suave is going excellent. And there's another win around the corner for him. He's a gentleman, didn't have much luck in the straight here. He's 150s, but you could bowl up in a weaker race and do something. Equation gave himself up a bit here for mine. I thought he was a little bit disappointing, and back to the drawing board with him.
Yeah, he's been one of yours this prepreparation, but on the 7 day
I
back
brushed
up,
him Saturday.
You brushed him on Saturday, did you? You backed the winner.
Yeah.
Did you butter up again at the good odds late?
That's the only time I chimed in at the death, because yeah, you're right. 240 earlier in the week was a bit short, but I must admit I was a bit surprised it got to that price.
It was just one of those ones that, those ones that they start to drift and then everybody shits themselves and everybody sort of stays away. But she threatened to do that, and this was the first time this preparation she's got into a full field. She's been able to travel, so because Huey's always sort of kidded to her. And that horse just got up on the inside of on the Kensington track prior to this. But yeah, I agree. She can win a good mares race. I think she'll run a mile for sure. And I do think that this is a race that we can follow with confidence. I'm going to give Golly Unlucky one more chance. He's an unlucky horse, and he was only fourth up here, and he can go to a mile, and fingers crossed he can win a race, because you can always get a bit of price about him. But one here that I thought was good, a bit of a sneaky run, Elizabeel. I thought she might be back. I'm not sure if she's burnt you before, but I thought she was good running on late, and she could find the right race. She sort of got shut out late, and then she hit the line again. So she's one that I could follow. I don't think Promise of Success would get into a race like the Empire Rose. She doesn't have a high enough benchmark, would you think? Oh, she's only got a 74 benchmark rating, Luke.
Yeah, I think I do recall John O'Shea talking about possible targets for her. I think she could be a chance for Melbourne for something. But yeah, whether you're aiming at the A grade, I'm just not sure with her rating. But he's a great trainer. He'll place her right, and I think anywhere she goes next start, we could definitely be following her with some interest and looking to back her again.
Yeah, surely she goes to Melbourne after that. She can definitely find a winnable race, and she's definitely got black type in her in the near future. Horses to follow out of the meeting. I'll go first. I'm not taking your horse, but you can jump on the back. I think Wheelhouse will be winning at his next start. That Sydney Stakes is going to be a race that we can follow with a fair amount of confidence. They zipped home there, and he was doing a really good job late, and he's only got a benchmark rating of 85, so he could find an 88 over 1,400 meters. I'm not sure if Chris is that way inclined, but geez, he'd be hard to beat in a race like that, Luke.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. I'm with you there, and I think that Casino Lord, there was two Casino horses in that race. There was Kid and Lord.
The green colours. We want the green.
Yeah, go with the Lord. I thought he was enormous, and next start we'll be betting.
Sounds good to me, mate. You have a wonderful week, Cox Plate week this week, and plenty of good racing in Sydney as well. So enjoy it. We're out of lockdown now, so as you can see, we've both had haircuts and we're both back.
Yeah, we're back, mate. It's good to be out of lockdown, and looking forward to the remainder of the spring. The Flemington Carnival is always good fun too. So Cox Plate this weekend. I know you're there with Animo, and give him strength, mate. I think he's got a live chance. The 3-year-olds have such a good record in the Cox Plate,
don't they? And the market always seems to trend towards them. Just a word on Incentivise. What did you think of his win in the Caulfield Cup? Wasn't it outstanding?
Well, I tweeted it tongue in cheek, but I tweeted Farlap #Incentivise after he won it because that's what it came out of my mouth. I'd had a few, but When he started to race away at the 200, I just kept saying, far lap, it's far lap, it's far lap. And it was amazing. So he copped a bit of a penalty for the Melbourne Cup, but shit, it'll take a good horse to beat him in that as well.
Definitely. If he's there in one piece and he gets a decent run, Preble will be off at the 800 and he really can stay. So he might be far lap next week. We'll find out in 9 days time or so. But it's going to be a cracking race, and he's a superstar of the future. Multiple Group 1 winner for sure. He's already a multiple Group 1 winner, but we might get double figures in Group 1s for that horse. But thanks for coming on the show, Luke. Have a great week, and I'll speak to you later in the week.
Pleasure, mate. Have a good week, guys.